Well, it's Woodville Motocross time, February the 1st and 2nd of 1986. The big weekend for Manawatu Ryan Motorcycle Club, coordinating several events all in one.
We've got the first transport section of the Woodville Motocross, enduro run by the bush riders. Transport section straight from the start.
Good event, about 35 riders in it, and this was on the Saturday. In addition to this, we had a classic motorcycle trial and classic bike show, which was held in Woodville and organised by the Classic Motorcycle Club, and the Manawatu Ryan trial section of the club, organised by Kevin Pinfold, put on an arena observed trial as well.
Got most of the top riders here: Tadpole Davis, Barry Raya. Plenty of time for the start of the first terrain test. They have some of the local farmers here to give us a hand out with the checks. Great help to the sport of enduro with their free use of land and their valuable time and assistance. Barry Raya there. Terry Cameron.
Well, at this point of the day, we had a bit of a old-timers reunion, and some of the riders who've ridden here over the past 25 years had their blast around. This is Bruce Carrott from Napier, who rode a old BSA plunger, great old machine, 1950 Gold Star. And he rode it pretty well. It rode around the quads, and for an old man, probably well into his 60s, that was an excellent effort. Bruce Carrott from Napier. And I don't think this BSA was made for this sort of thing. Here's a AJS Matchless Matisse. It used to belong to Ken Cleghorn some years ago. In fact, I think Ken won one of the Woodville trophies with that. This is Bob Grover on a Bultaco 250 Persang from Hawke's Bay, from Waipakara actually, and he was one of the many who rode around Woodville from many years ago. Bob Grover. Here's Glenn Robbins in for a bit of a surprise over the jump, and bang into the drain. We're dug on the other side. The modern day guys are jumping this, and Glenn didn't know about it. There's quite a drain on the other side there. So Glenn Robbins, who had a BSA, did the trip up there. And on a BSA Bantam there's Roger Holmwood from Palmerston North, very well known on a C15 BSA in the earlier days of Woodville. Now this guy in the grey pullover is Hughie Anderson, now living in Hamilton, but he was a triple world champion of road racing, mainly on Suzuki bikes, and he was also a very, very good motocross rider, and he's found this 250 single port CZ, and he's really loosing it off around Woodville here today, as he did many, many years ago when he was riding here. And what the devil was this creation here? Well, it's the old aerial that the Manawatu Orion Motorcycle Club has had for years. We think Ernie Pink built these wheels up with eccentric long and short spokes, and she's quite an animal to ride. And the old caveman here is riding it up and down, and you'll notice that even the people get jumping up and down with it as well, because she's quite a thing. We defy anyone to ride this one on the back wheel. Now here's a bunch of the oldies. We've got Jim Doherty, now an ACU executive member. Graham Terry went by. There's Jim Doherty. Hughie Anderson still blasting along his 250 CZ. And Bob Grover on the Bull Taco Persang again. Glenn Robbins obviously pulled himself out of the ditch and back on his faithful old BSA, which he rode extremely successfully. Peter McClay from Waipawa, now manager of the Hartuma Lime Company and an excellent rider in his day. Well, here's the old wobbly wheel again, and patron of the Manawatu Orion Club, Mort Andrews, is going to try his luck at the wobbly wheel. Here's a bunch of old riders, Ken Cleghorn, Sprocket, or Dave Bridge as we call him, Malcolm Campbell, Tim Gibbs doing a bit of commentating, and Ken Davis also sitting on the back of the ute on the oldies parade. So over the past 25 years this has seen a lot of people. Tony Wilson from Hastings on a C15 BSA. The course is almost original. and damn me days if the wobbly wheel hasn't got stuck as well. Well, that's the way it goes. Well, at the Woodville Motocross, we also had the trials guys turn up and put up their arena trials obstacles and do some quite good riding over the obstacles, much to the delight of the crowd who were able to witness arena trials as well as motocross. So it was a great day for riders to show how to fall off a car as well as ride over the car as well, hopefully. After my car, Mark. Also, Steve Hornby, who just rode over the top of us in the car, is up over the drums. No, that's a 5. 5 cheers. So back to Steve on his Montesa along the drums. 3 tricky one this one. Another 5 for that one. What's his name, Errol?
I
Don't know. He did a very good run before, actually.
The top of it, but the little pig line is a very successful machine for trial driving. Of course, there's a lot of drivers that got these in different zeros on them as well.
Well, that was a bit of trick riding.
What a fine effort here, ladies and gentlemen, the zero there, the good score. Richard Neal, a talented Hawke's Bay 17-year-old.
Richard Neal from Hawke's Bay, on a TY175, not a brand new one by any means either.
BMX riding, the BMX champions can do it the same as well, with able to stop the point without tripping. Able to pick it up and turn around on the 10 cent coin. So it just shows you that the ground man, you do get it. You don't
And poised to jump up this one. Good, well done.
Unsafe through at the moment for a Canal. Another point, 0 score.
0 score.
Yes, got the other thing.
Woodville Motocross, held on the 25-year-old motocross course, not very far from Woodville, to continue a weekend of festivities. On the line now, we've got the finalists for the Rod Sheriff's Memorial Race. Quite a few countries being represented here today. Don't know what the Volvo represents, but anyway, their flags as well. We're looking at the Woodville Motocross final, 30 minutes of it, and you can see in the background there the whole of the magnificent motocross course for Woodville. Got bits of everything. Everyone seems to love it. Graham Allen, seemingly a 20-minute race, and it's all go. Full Turnbull is the starter. They put their wheels in a trench there. That's the rubber band start. Operated by Bill Wetzel over here. CR500 from Waihi, right in the lead. There's number 12, Graham Allen, probably the star of today on the Team Green Kawasaki in second, and could be Brent Stevens. Yes, Brent Stevens, number 70 in third spot. Down into the first wall there, pretty fair sort of a start. Now, over the floater jump, down the straight. Keith Peters and Mitch Rowe. Over the Blacklead drain drop. Graham Allen over the quads. Only about half a dozen guys are doing these quads all in one shot. Most of them are doing them in 2x2 like that. So let's watch Graham Allen. He's now pulled into a fairly good lead from Mitch Rowe. Going over the Blacklead drain drop. Mitch Rowe just coming into the picture now. Going to turn over, back over the drain from Jamison Honda corner and into the quad. One big jump. Mitch Rowe takes the safe way out to double. Mitch Rowe from New Plymouth on the Honda Suzuki.
Well, holding position at the moment, still number 80, coming to Taranaki Fire. Daryl King a little way back behind there.
Daryl King is third now, moved up in front of Keith Peters. Peters number 7. Brent Stevens is going number 10. Followed by Gavin Hayes. Long lead. Logan Honda CR250. Third place man, Daryl King. Mark Davis is in this race, the Roddy Sheriff's Memorial Race, and he's on the IT200 from my Yamaha. Midfield, so the race is fairly fast and furious. Over the doubles, over the triples that follow them. A little later, Graham Allen over the photo first, edge fly off, over the doubles. Then the triples, that's 3 and 1 at the far end there. Second place man, Mitch Rowe, over the photo first fly off, over the double jump. Then the triples, no, he's going to dodge the double. On for 4th, 5th and 6th with Brent Stevens here. On the Mugen Honda. Up the soda bumps they go. Keith Peters dropping back. He's one of the early leaders, but fluffing out. Coming up there, so he might have just about fluffed it too. So with a lap to go, we're back now, they're going on the soda bumps. Checker flag with a big toss-up for winning the Roddy Sheriff Memorial Race. Mitch Rowe looks as though he's a bit worn out. Puff, puff, puff. Second spot. Darryl King third on the 125 this time. Just here, watching pretty carefully a couple of the 2-olds for this race. On our right, Brian Patterson, who has won this event previously, and Murray Anderson, who of course has won the Woodville Motocross previously, unfortunately with a sore arm now. Our right is red, but Woodville Motocross. Who cares? Probably Bevan Dawson from Tauranga. But just up for the finish here, Andy Hughes and Jones Lawson.
Anything's better than that.
So up here we've got the presentation for the Roddy Sheriff's Memorial Race, and Mrs. Sheriff's, the mother of the late Roddy Sheriff's, is presenting the trophy to Graham Allen, the winner of the race. We saw him on number 12, the KX 500.
Watch out for the younger ones that are coming up behind you.
One of the American rider that came here, Frankie Benbridge, who rode in a KX 250 in the first couple of races, quite a star, but unfortunately the bike seized up and he went to the 125. Yeah, you look quite a girl. This is the 3-wheeler and quad race, and we're second or third time at Woodville. Quite a bit of different action in there. The 3-wheelers and the quads. A couple of quads in the lead there. John McKeck and the Susie quad races. Quite a tricky anti-camber there. Not the sort of thing that 3-wheelers and quads like a great deal. These guys aren't doing the doubles a great deal, or the quads. Cross final, 30 laps.
Now wait for the start to go up.
They're away. Good clean start.
Ruling Woodville action.
So the leaders.
Number 4 to lead them through. Rocket Ross
Ross in the lead, 2 Brian Patterson. 12 Graham Allen.
We see number 2 now, Brian Patterson.
Ross is still there. 12, 2, 24. Deacons and Styles from Australia. Down to the center one for the first time. Ross Saunders does it in 2. Graham Allen goes it in 4 and takes the lead doing it. Jimmy Deacon had a bit of a ding there with 500. That's Wayne McKinley. Graham Allen in lead, Ross Saunders 4. Mitch Rowe, Brian Patterson. Vaughan Stiles 5th. So let's watch Graham Allen over the quads. One big, monstrous leap. Beautiful. Vaughan Stiles from Australia back in 5th spot on a CR250 Honda. Mitch Rowe, and he made 3 out of the 4 of the quads. Down he went. So the race is on here. Brian Patterson is 4th and 5th. From Australia. It's going to be a bit of a tug because Graham Allen is pulling away from him.
Number 4, Rocket Ross Saunders.
Oh, the flags have
Quite a few countries being represented here today. Don't know what the Volvo represents, but anyway, their flags as well. We're looking at the Woodville Motocross final, 30 minutes of it, and you can see in the background there the whole of the magnificent motocross course for Woodville. Got bits of everything. Everyone seems to love it. Graham Allen seemingly pulling away from the second and third guys. Still Ross Saunders second. Vaughan Styles now pulled away a bit ahead of Brian Patterson. Well, we'll see if Mitch Rowe's learned his lesson on this one. He tried to quit it last time. He must have learned his lesson. Wayne McKinley doing the whole four. Number 500 on the CR 500. Wayne McKinley. Well back, probably around about 10th or 12th spot. So the leader, Graham Allen, coming around, approaching the corner before the Gibbes drop. Down he goes. 25 years old, the Gibbes drop, and Graham's probably about 22 years old. Vaughan Styles. Ross Saunders. So Vaughan Styles has now moved up to second. Jimmy Deacon on a Kagiva. Ryan Patterson on the KX 500. Well, Vaughan Styles is trying to make a bit of headway now on the leader Graham Allen. As well as Jimmy Deacon. So here's Vaughan Styles, second place. Maybe catching a little bit up on Graham Allen, but not a great deal. Not very far behind him is Jimmy Deacon on a 125 Kagiva. Over the doubles. Over the triples. KX 125 from Longburn. A bad place he's got there in this final. Probably around about 6th or 7th. We'll count him back in a minute. Gavin Hayes. Sounds like he's riding a 125. Warren Timpson and Wayne McKinley. Vaughan Styles. Pursuit of Graham Allen still. Jimmy Deacon, riding pretty well now. Number 4, Ross Saunders, moved back a bit from the lead he had on the original place. Gavin Hayes, 9. This is the Gibbes drop. Wadsworth and Chloe. Number 6. Very good, comes from Takara. Found a little tricky line down the side of the doubles there. Must cover that over for next year. And Mitch Rowe, who had to fall earlier on the quads, picked it up and got it going again. Kevin Hayes over the doubles. Euroman Terry Cameron, not far off being swallowed up by the leader Graham Allen. Graham Allen. Ross Styles. Yes, I think he's picking up a little bit more. Jimmy Deacon, I reckon, is catching them both. That's pretty good going on the 125 Kagiva. It's getting hot for Brian Patterson because he got Greg Atkins and Leon Andrew right on his tail. And Mitch Rowe following along. Well, this is getting pretty hot. Jimmy Deacon is still finding way ahead on the Kagiva. Terry Cameron just been left. Euroman Terry. Yeah, looks like Leon Andrews got the better of Patterson and Atkins, because here's Leon coming through. Followed by 14 being left, and Greg up. Takara. Way to do the sort of bumps, Graham Allen, well over halfway through the race. Still not the Ross Stiles goes through. Vaughan Stiles, sorry. Jimmy Deacon just roaring through there in the sort of bumps. Wayne McKinley, a little bit more docile. Bucks him round a bit. Terry Cameron, KDX 200. Ross Corners, in a lonely fourth spot. Oh, Tim's not very happy about going around and pegged in. Second man, Vaughan Stiles, Flaps Bones horse. Well, there's a man in a fair amount. I don't know how long he's been down there. But to bring him up from the river, number 30, that's probably young Paddy from Taupo. Neil Potter it was. He's been down the river, and I think I'm not very pleased about that. End of a long day, everyone's a bit sharp. To go, Vaughan has still got about another 100 metres to catch Graham Allen. And Jimmy Deacon along the stutters, half on, half out. Half hour's nearly up, last lap, these guys are on. There's Leon Andrew around the back. Number 70, Neville Coomber from Water Club. Yeah, man, Graham Allen wins it. A big prize, and look at this for second. Vaughan Stiles with Jimmy Deacon really catching up fast there. Leon Andrew crosses the line, a little bit tired, I should say. Metro, Wayne McKinley. Greg Atkins, he rode well too. Woodville Motocross, held on the 25-year-old motocross course, not very far from Woodville, to continue a weekend of festivities. Well, now we're going to have a bit of a look around the few little bits and pieces of Woodville before we move on to the New Zealand Motocross Champs, because Woodville was more or less a forerunner. $10,000 worth of prize money went up for it, and it brought in the international riders for the first time in New Zealand, and then they moved on to the New Zealand Motocross Champs.
Craig Dack, Australia. Road 24. And somebody's lost some power. For Deacon on the Gibbes work spot. racing, we can have enduro bikes up to 200cc. You managed to make it into the A grade. Paul Davis. Better, more suited to an enduro. Morley Sheriff's 59. Got won it about 2 or 3 times here, the big feature. Some years ago. Last lap of the under 200 run grade. Craig Dack will be the winner, I guess. Stunters here pose quite a challenge to particularly the B-grade riders. Some of the lines and directions are just a trifle unusual. It's not unknown for some riders to depart into the stream. Paul Davis back on his familiar bike. He rode in the enduro yesterday and didn't enjoy it too much. The power of the 490 is somewhat different to that of the IT200. Here's Craig Dack. He'll be getting the checkered flag this time around, that's for sure. Well-deserved win. Morley Sheriff slapped, but when you're over 40, you do have excuses. And it looks like, I think, Dean Gavity's in third. 24, maybe John Penny. That's right. Coming in, and one of the enduro riders. Played under 200cc event. Bill Wetzel there, a well-known New Zealand name. Motorcycling starter. Woodville wears a Trelleborg shirt. That's Morley Sheriff. Not only shares his expertise, but his bike by the look of it. One, two, three. Josephine Adblom. Been riding motocross now for about 2 or 3 years, and the only woman competitor here today. Along there is Peter McPhee, the waving hand. Sober today. A motocross organiser. There's Tim Gibbes, whacking in the pegs. But here's the assistance of somebody there. He'll tell him in 2 minutes in far enough. He's right here, just a little bit to get away. A good keen man. Quite a delight to the crowd. The ex-Caviga's coming in for a little bit of attention there.
Still having trouble, in fact, just leaving the started area.
CZ125 and a CZ, I think, 400. Riders, Greg Stevens on the left, the shy Leon Andrews. Leon's having an appalling day today with a clipping. Collapsed suspension twice. But he's using Woodville as a runner-up to the New Zealand Championship start in a couple of weeks' time. Camp. Dad Ash there. Getting the boys sorted out with Mum getting a bit of encouragement. This is me, Simon's mum. Isn't it fun to be a motocrossing mother? Simon not having the best of days. He crashed 3 times in the last race, but he seemed to get it together in the first one. It's life. Showing his best look. Handsome, isn't he? Grub Gibbes, of course, as always, watching somebody work. Quite a layout here. Brian Patterson's bike. Graham Allen. And a bit of feverish activity in the background by Don Perry on Leon Andrews' bike. Graham Allen looks like a certain of a very high placing in the Open Class Nationals this year. CC still coming on. Some of the double jumps. Not really to the like of some of the big graders, but
Right here at home at Woodville, in fact, you couldn't get any closer to home.
and onto the solder bumps.
Right, as part of it, part of the Bush Riders Club, great about it.
Chris is always on the key. Glad to rescue his bike from Gavin Weston, who was done with the game. Cross track. You don't fix your bike, it makes you fix up your arm as well. Okay. Potter on the left, I can see, number 30. Brian Patterson, number 2. Should have been Brent Stevens down there. In fact, we've just about got everybody there except Murray Anderson out with a broken arm. Unfortunate accident at Wakatani. There's 5 lurking in the back there and his WR400. Not really Jock's thing, this. More into the Enduros. McKinley. Not too happy today. His arms are coming up a little bit. Styles from Australia. A few gentle words from Ivan Woods. And we haven't had a nice start at all. Don't quite know who got it right there and who got it wrong, but everybody's having a little ticky-tacky. Start of the A grade, so I'm not going to get away with anything here. But try and get them organised again. And hold up. And boy, there's going to be a few hot clutches around here. Just not waiting for those rubber band to come up. Seems to be a little bit of a problem there somewhere along the line. There with Phil Turnbull. And this time we're going to hope we're going to get a nice clean start. And they're still breaking in. And they're going to turn around these offending riders. They've just been a little bit too much. And it looks like we haven't got a good start. Looks like it's just one of those days.